How are you everybody? How are you today? This is the first lecture for fourth year statistic English section related to econometrics. This is the first lecture in our semester in course of econometrics. We will start our lecture today by a brief introduction, a brief description about econometrics. This is called introductory econometrics. What is the meaning of econometrics? What are the aims, the goals, the objectives of econometrics? We will see in this lecture the main parts or the main subjects or the main aspects related to econometrics. What is the relation between econometrics and mathematics? What is the types of econometric models? We will see all this by details in this lecture. This is the chapter 1, the first chapter in our course. Introduction to econometrics. A brief introduction, a brief explanation about econometrics. Econometrics deals with the measurement of economic relationships. There are many economics aspects, many economics fields. What is the relation between economics? It is an integration of economics and mathematical economics and statistics with an object to provide numerical value to the parameter of economic relationships. Econometrics is a combination between economic and mathematics and statistics. The relationship of economic theories are usually expressed in mathematical forms and combined with empirical economics. The econometrics methods are used to obtain the values of parameters which are essentially the coefficients of mathematical form of the economic relationships. The statistical methods which help in explaining the economic phenomena are adapted as econometric methods. The econometric relationships, despite the random behavior of economic relationships, are generally not considered in economics and mathematical formulation. It may be pointed out that the econometric methods can be used in other areas like engineering sciences, biological sciences, medical sciences, geosciences, agriculture science, and so on. In simple words, whenever there is a need of finding the stochastic relationship in mathematical format, the econometric methods and tools help. The economic tools are helpful in explaining the relationship among variables. The econometric tools are helpful in explaining the relationship among variables. Econometric models. A model is a simplified representation of a real world process. It should be representative in the sense that it should contain the salient feature of a phenomenon understood. In general, one of the objectives in modeling is to have a simple model to explain a complex phenomenon. Such an objective may sometimes lead to oversimplified model, and sometimes the assumptions made are unrealistic. In practice, generally all the variables with the experimenter thinks are relevant to explain the phenomenon are included in the model. Rest of the variables is dumped in a basket called disturbances, where the disturbances are random variables. This is the main difference between the economic modeling and econometric modeling. This is also the main difference between the mathematical model and statistical model. The mathematical model is exact in nature, whereas the statistical model contains a stochastic terms. An economic model is the set of assumptions that describes the behavior of an economy or more general a phenomenon. An econometric model consists of the contents of econometric models, a set of equations describing the behavior. These equations are derived from the economic model and have two parts: observed variables and disturbances, a statement about the errors in the observed value of variables, a specification of the probability distribution of disturbance. What is the aims of econometrics? The, ob- the objective of the econometrics, the goals, the three main aims econometrics are as follows: formulation and specification of econometric models. The economic model are formulated in an empirically testable form. Several economic models can be derived from an economic model. Such models differ due to different choice of functional form, specification of stochastic structure of the variables, and so on. The second goal of econometric models: estimation and testing of models. The models are estimated on the basis of observed set of data and are tested for their suitability. This is a part of statistical inference of the modeling. Various estimation procedures are used to know the numerical values of the unknown parameters of the model. Based on various formulation of statistical models, a suitable and appropriate model is selected. Number 3. Use of the models. The obtained models are used for forecasting and policy formulation, which is an essential part in any policy decision. Such forecasts help the policy makers to judge the goodness of fitted model and take necessary measure in order to readjust the relevant economic variables. Econometrics and in statistics. What is the relation between econometrics and statistics? Econometrics differs both from mathematical statistics and economic statistics. In economic statistics, the empirical data is collected, recorded, tabulated, and used, describing the pattern in their development over time. The economic statistic is a descriptive aspect of economics. It does not provide either the explanations of the development of variables or measurement of the pattern of the relationship. Such methods may not be suitable for economic phenomena. They do not fit in the framework of controlled experiments. For example, in real-world experiments, the variables usually change continuously and simultaneously, and so the setup of controlled experiments are not suitable. Econometrics uses statistical methods after adapting them to the problems of economic life. These adapted statistical methods are usually termed as econometric models or methods. Such methods are adjusted so that they become appropriate for the measurement of stochastic relationships. This adjustment basically attempts to the stochastic element which operate in real world data and enters into the determination of observed data. This enables the data to be called as random sample, which is needed for the application of stochastic models. The theoretical econometrics includes the development of appropriate method for the measurement of economic relationships which are not meant for controlled experiments conducted inside the laboratories. The econometric methods are generally developed for the analysis of non-experimental data. The applied econometrics includes the application of econometric methods to specific branches of econometric theory and problem like demand, supply, production, investment, and consumption, and so on. The applied econometrics involves the application of the tools of econometric theory for the analysis of economic phenomena and forecasting the economic behavior. What are the types of data in econometrics? Various types of data are used in the situation of the model. Time series data. Time series data give information about the numerical values of the variables from period to period and are collected over time. For example, the data during the year 2010 for monthly income constitutes a time series data. This is time series data. Cross-section data. The cross-section data give information on the variable concerning load agents, consumers, producers or produces at a given point of time. For example, a cross-section of sample of consumers is a sample of family budgets showing expenditure on various commodities by each family, as well as information on family income, family consumption, and other demographic, social, or financial characteristics. Panel data. The panel data are the data from repeated survey of a single cross-section sample in different periods of time. Dummy variable data. When the variables are qualitative in nature, then the data is recorded in the form of indicator function. The value of the variable does not reflect the magnitude of data. They reflect only the presence or absence of a characteristics. For example, the variable like region, sex, taste, and so on are qualitative variables. The variable sex takes two values, male or female. The variable taste takes like or dislike, such as such variables are denoted by dummy variable. For example, these values can be presented as 1 represented male and 0 represents female. Similarly, 1 represents like and 0 represents dislike, and so on. 1 represents the existence of the phenomena. 0 refers to there is no any existence of this phenomenon. If this phenomenon exists, must be take 1. If there is no exist, must be take 0. So that when the variable is a real, take 1. When the variable is a dummy, is nothing, must be take 0. When the variable is okay, must be take 1. When the variable is nothing, must be take 0. Thank you for everybody. See you in the next lecture in the faculty and on the faculty website. Thank you for everybody.